How about this for a nasty this week? Got hit by a stone that was flown up from a tyre. It took the cracks and it's already travelling. You can see that it's already up to here, yeah, which has screwed the windscreen, yeah. This is in the A zone, which is a no-no for things like cracks. I shall have to find a way of replacing this. Best thing to do is to drill a hole exactly where the crack finishes, and that'll be the same with each one of these. Okay, that will stop any cracks traveling. But it's a little bit too late for this now. I hit, and by the time I got somewhere, the vehicle had moved the frame so much it split it, yeah, so not a good one, huh? Okay, so what has airsoft got to do with electrics and motor vehicle maintenance? Well, I'll tell you something here. I've got a gun here which is an airsoft gun, a pistol. It's gas powered, yeah. I have a gas powered lighter here. Okay, so you could probably already know the connection, people who go airsofting. Alright, usually I'll power it up with this butane, which is for refillable lighters. It's refined butane, flammable, yeah. I didn't realise until the other day that this airsoft power gas for pistols and rifles, that player's choice, is also a flammable gas, and it turns out to be 90% propane and 10% butane, yeah. Why ever they use this as a propellant, I don't know. But what I have done, I have filled my cigarette lighter up, which also doubles up as a heat shrink machine, okay? And suddenly I have a longer flame. It's up here somewhere and it burns hotter, yeah. Surprisingly, yeah, I'm not going to point it towards the camera, but you should be able to see the length of the flame. If I put something black behind it, I don't know if you can see it there, but basically it's up here somewhere. The heat is actually better. I don't know if butane or propane, which one burns hotter, but this one burns efficiently, and it is actually very, very good for heat shrinks. Impressed, yeah, that's tip number one. We're also now in the kitchen, yeah. I've bought a new frying pan, which is cast iron, and it's damned heavy, yeah. Fits on the ring properly. The old frying pan which I had is a Tefal, and it's fucked. You can see maybe the pan itself is deformed. This is aluminium, not very good. However, these sort of things act very well for drip pans, and this is what I'm going to convert this into. You never throw pans away, yeah. Always give kitchen utility stuff for presents that you can take the old stuff away. Now this is, I can take the handle off this, there's a screw in there, yeah, and I can use that as a drip pan if I need to in the workshop. So this one will be relegated. I've got to wash it first. This one's been put into service, yeah. So tip two is, if you're going to give birthday Christmas presents, make sure they're pans and stuff where you know that you can relegate the old stuff into the workshop or the garage, yeah. Right, okay, guys and girls, I'm in the... Can you believe that? Every time I start talking, the comes around. And there's Mr. Wibby. No customers today, so you can turn your music off and go away. That's it. Yay, goodbye. Yeah, okay, so that was an annoying interruption. That actually used to happen at my other place as well. For some reason, at a certain time, the ice cream men come around, but they just pick it randomly when I've got the camera out, yeah. Anyway, right, what are we talking about? Oils. So oils, yeah, I buy oil by bulk, it's cheaper, yeah. I've got regular maintenance for oil changes. This vehicle should do 10,000 on semi-skimmed, or that's semi-synthetic. This will also take a full synthetic oil as well, which will last about the same time, yeah. Mineral oil is very unpredictable. It tends to break down randomly, whereas synthetic oil breaks down all in one go, and you really do need to change it when the service interval says, yeah. With a turbo diesel, like what's in this vehicle here, it's got to have good quality oil. A, for the lubricating properties, and B, for the cooling properties as well. Yeah, an oil that has detergents and additives in will keep the carbon away from the working parts. All right, and this is what you need to aim at doing when you're buying oils, for instance. I go for something which is not the most expensive, a bit lower down from that. Cheap oil, okay, like car lube, for instance, which you can even buy in Tesco's, is okay. It's okay, it's up to spec, but it's cheap. Yeah, so you're not getting the extra bits and pieces in here. Yeah, it's the same with cheap fuel. You've got to add additives to make sure it cleans your injectors and such like. Same with this sort of stuff. I've got this container here for draining into. This takes something like 3.5 litres in this engine of oil, which is fantastic. Yeah, so I've got the trusty Haynes manual, and I'll show you this now. Okay, it actually tells me the oil spec. Okay, so with petrol engines, API, SH and SJ. With a diesel engine, that will be a CF and CD, and what I generally now look at is the ACEA number, which is B3. Yeah, if you can see that there. Okay, 10W40, SAA 10W40. Okay, fully synthetic or semi-skimmed. Yeah. Now, Haynes manual is actually pretty good for beginners, intermediates. What I do is basically just use the data, yeah, unless I really need to know something which I'm not sure, and then I'll dive into here. You've got to realise that this will only go so far. It won't tell you how to rebuild an ECU, for instance. But what I'm looking at, service lubricants, okay, between the dipsticks is 1.8 litres, the dipstick mark, and then it's 3.8 litres, excuse me, I said 3.5, yeah. Okay, that's including filter change. Yeah, so it's 3.5 if you don't change the filter, which is stupid. You always should change your filter when you do your oils. Yeah. Okay, so basically we have Miller's oil. Okay, this is a good quality oil. Miller's always is. Land Rover owners, yeah, you want to look at this thing, 10W40. Okay, until we get to the Pumas, which are 530s. Okay, 10W40 semi-synthetic. Yeah, petrol and diesel engine oil. Yeah, it not only is petrol and diesel engine, but there's a classification here, MTF, which is manual transmission fluid 94. This is a 7580 grade transmission oil. Yeah, so what we have here is ACEA A3, B3 and A3. Okay, you can find this classification in something like the Haynes manual. This is perfect for this engine, ACEA B3. Okay, B4 is good enough. Okay, but when you see the API here, S will denote petrol and C is diesel. Okay, so it's an SL and CF. Okay. We're going back to using engine oils in gearboxes and back diffs as well now, and I can tell you that because a new vehicle I've just serviced, an Isuzu, had 530 in the back axle, believe it or not. Yeah, so don't be patronised about these numbers. These are basically references for like MB, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, okay, and for Renault. All right, and then on this one, okay, I'll bring it up here. This has specification for Merc, Volkswagen and PSA. PSA is Peugeot, yeah. This would be more for workshop references, yeah. This one is only for diesel engine oil, okay. And it is 10W40, however, it is B4, yeah, and a CI, okay. C meaning diesel, okay. One last oil I'd like to show you, okay, is the Car Lube 10W40 Turbo Diesel engine oil. Okay, API, well, actually you can't see that, but the ACEA is A3 and B3. Okay, semi-synthetic, but when you look on the back it doesn't tell you this. Okay, but the specification here, it has CF and SL. Okay, so this is the same as the Trident one. This will be for petrol and for diesel engines, yeah, which is actually pretty good, whereas what it says here is for turbo diesel engines. Yeah, manufactured the latest API, CF and SL specification. Okay, but as it's got SL on it, you can use it for petrol. I know it's a no-brainer, but when you turn a French vehicle on, it actually gives you the oil level down the bottom there. Each one of those, did you see that? There was 2 notches difference, yeah? I'll just show you again. Okay, see that? So the oil level's a bit low. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Yeah. Okay, so what I've actually done with this, I know this is like teaching grandma how to suck eggs, but I've just pulled it up and I've left it for a little while, wiped the dipstick and then recheck. Okay, and I'm actually on 2 notches down. Is that right? Click the dipstick right in. Actually, yeah, that's 2 notches down. So I shall, ooh, look at that. Ah, yeah, I got it off. Believe it or not, I had one of these that couldn't get off. That was jammed in, stuck once upon a time. But this is not once upon a time. This is now, and this is reality. Just make sure the level is okay. Yeah. These vehicles let you top up the oil quite easily. Some don't. Yeah. Now, what I do have is a habit of putting the top back on. If I've finished, then it's okay. If not, then if I walk off and forget and drive off, it'll splat oil all over the top here, and I don't want that. So I'm just always cautious about that. Yeah. Okay, so dig with a little bit more, and then we're good to go. I do like my oil there, bang on the button. Yeah. And when it comes to some vehicles you don't know how much the capacity is, you can spend ages pouring oil in and checking the level, and it's worth spending your time doing that. Oil level should never be too high, ever. Should never be too high, otherwise the crank can pick it up, can pick up into the cylinders and start getting burnt. Yeah, it's not what you want. So I think that I'll actually do. I always click the dipstick in, and I'll show you what level I like mine at, because this now is at a full level. Okay, each one of the markers on the dashboard is a marker on this dipstick, if you can see those. Yeah, which for a French cars, that is good. You notice this is actually bent as well. That should be straight, but the heat of the oil has done that over a period of time. Yeah. Does that affect the reading? Yes, it does. Okay, so we are about there. You see that? We are on the level. Yeah. You never hold a dipstick up like that to read it, do you? You always hold it downwards. Yeah. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That should be okay. As far as I'm aware, this vehicle doesn't actually burn oil at all, but all diesels will consume a little bit of it, yeah, over a period of time. So this is a weekly check, minimum of a weekly check, all right, maximum every day if you're concerned. Yeah, so I know my fuel, all my fuel levels are okay. I'm good to go. I just did the tire pressures now. What I generally don't like too much is Haynes manuals, but I'm changing my mind about these now because I've got access to technical data with the vehicles that I work with. It's okay. I can get what I need to. We have all the software for the vehicles. However, this is the next best thing from a step up from the handbook. This vehicle does not have a handbook with it, which is unfortunate because it has a lot of details in it, but this will give me a lot. Most people are not going to use this book to its full extent. Okay, yeah, you've got engine rebuild facilities. It tells you how to do your brakes. It tells you a lot of tips and tricks which are valid, very, very valid. Now what I find with this is that I have the service information, okay, which is the fluids capacities. Yeah, so I go straight to it and tell me exactly how much oil and what grade is needed. Okay, for basically for the newbies, I was going to say numpties, but that's not right. But basically for the newbies, there is a lot of checks that you can go through. These sort of checks will get you through an MOT if you read this book. Yeah, like I say, lubricants and fluids, tyre pressures, yeah, you find them on a vehicle anyway, but it's handy to know. And then you have your routine maintenance. Yeah, this is mainly where people go to. Yeah, and then what they do is they get rid of the car and they put this on the car boot sale. This is where I got this book from. There's a car boot sale. You can see it's been chewed by a dog or something. Good enough for what's needed. I don't intend to rebuild the engine on this or do any major repairs. It's just not worth its while. Yeah, it's the value of it is already finished. I'm just using it as a shunter to get to work and back. Yeah, I know when I look under the bonnet what components are what. Some people might not know, so this book might be actually quite handy. Yeah, other things, and I'll say this, and these Land Rover guys know these are not sufficient when you get into some serious stuff. Yeah, ABS issue I had on here told me that if I had to change the ABS modulator, that I needed to have a plug-in to get it bled up. Yeah, but I have a snap-on tool to do this bleeding of the brakes anyway, so I can activate the modulator and get it done. I know the difference. Yeah, so there's only so far you can go with these books, but they give you enough information to do what you need. I probably only need about 6 pages out of this book, but there are times when I might need to look at the electrical wiring diagrams, which actually weren't much help, but it told me where the fuses were. Yeah, and I worked it out from there. Good enough. I'm not endorsing Haynes. I think they've been around for a long time. There's something different in America, isn't there, that's not Haynes? But anyway, it's a book. It's got data in it. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. Car boot sale, £1. Yeah, it's a £1. They spelled very, very well. Yeah. So anyway, enough from me for now.